So thank you and welcome to today's webinar. I believe we had already started the recording. So first, we're going to do a little bit of the housekeeping. As I mentioned, we're going to use that question section. Thank you guys for participating with that. That allows us to make sure that we follow up with you if we need to. So summer school, and I am actually going to share my camera only for the first 2 slides. So you only have to worry about that for a little bit. But summer school is almost here. You want to get your kids and students in summer school and keep them engaged with CoderZ Robotics and Coding. Joining us today is Floyd County's Bobby Akers and Mike Bell from Kentucky. Bobby and Mike are the dynamic duo digital learning coaches supporting teachers and students countywide, and they even have, I'm going to tell a secret, y'all, their own podcast. I can't wait to hear it. So my name is Kathy Scott. I'm your hostess, whatever you want to call me. I'm all good with it. I am a district account manager for CoderZ. My contact information is there in the middle. And Mike and Bobby, I'm going to start with Bobby. If you would introduce yourself, you can pop your camera on if you're comfortable, and just tell us about yourself, please.
My name is Bobby Akers. I've been a teacher for 17 years. This is my first year as a digital learning coach. Mike and I have been working together since August. He's been here a little bit longer than I have, but we're really looking forward to getting CoderZ, going in the county.
That's super. Mike, would you mind introducing yourself, please?
Hi, my name's Mike Bell. I'm Bobby's partner here, and we have been in this position for the school year. I actually started back in May, and I've been in the district for 24 years. I am a music teacher that has sort of transitioned into the technology world, and we're excited. We've got a lot of things happening this summer, and we're glad that you guys invited us to be here today.
And Denise, if you are on, can you, if you would like to introduce yourself, I would love it, but please do not feel obligated. I would love to have you say hi, and if you can, I'll give you a couple of seconds. And if you want to put a little note in the question section, you can say, Kathy, leave me alone. Kathy, I'm happy to chat. I'm not sure if you were able to.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Denise, we can hear you. Please introduce yourself.
Yes. Hi, I'm Denise Isaac. I am the Chief Information Officer for Floyd County Schools. And I actually have had the privilege of growing my department this year with 2 digital learning coaches. And Mike and Bobby have been fantastic to run with the instructional side of my position. So we are super excited and looking forward to getting robotics out into the district this year. Thank you, Kathy.
Yes, thank you very much. So I want y'all to know, between Denise and Mike and Bobby and myself, any questions, we have someone moderating our questions chat section, so they will be happy to ping any of us for any questions that may be specific. So today, first, we're going to do 2 poll questions. I'm going to sort of lay out the webinar for you real quick. So once you be ready to respond, nothing too difficult, I promise. And then we're going to look at some of the challenges for Summer School 2021. Then Bobby and Mike are going to share the Floyd County story. That's what we're really here for today, and how they're going to address their barriers with a strong, fun, engaging summer school solution that will continue into fall for students and teachers. With that, I'm going to turn my crazy face off and let me make sure I don't turn off my whole everything. Okay, there we go. And so you can focus on our presentation. So let's do the first poll question. So I just need you to give us an idea for the levels that you work with for your students. And let's see how many, let's see. Oh, we've got, oh my goodness, write down a few more high school than middle and elementary, no elementary really, some other, that's fine. Got to get our elementary folks in here, y'all. We got to get more elementary folks in here. We have a great audience today. This is awesome. There's our elementary folks. Yes, thank you for answering. I appreciate it. I always love to see a balance between elementary, middle, and high. And of course, our other attendees are hopefully our administrators that are out there and really wanting to keep that summer engagement going. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. Let's close that poll, and then let's go to the second one. We're going to go right into the second one really quickly. So this one, just one more question. Going into next year, summer's going to be our transition. We're going to go into next year. What is your priority? What's keeping you up at night? The one thing that's at the top of the list. I know these are all things that keep you up at night, but if you had to pick one, what's the one that's actually really going to get you, and what the district is talking about, or what your school is talking about? How can we take summer school and really support our students in a big, big way? That student learning gap, enrollment, attendance is coming in, and engagement, but really the student learning gap is the strength there. So thank you for answering that. We have most everybody responded there. That's awesome. So you can close that poll as well. So that's student learning gap. We have a good balance of attendees. So here are some of the challenges. We've always had summer school, yet today it's getting headline press. Summer school means many things, and this year it can mean intensive reading, language arts, and math instruction. It can mean catching up from learning loss, obviously a gap that you guys are looking at, transitioning back to school in person. So using summer school as that bridge to sort of have everybody know how to operate again back in school without anybody getting sick, kind of thing. But also engaging students with fun while learning. I think that's probably one of the big things that we've learned, is getting that student engagement. So one of the things that came up, this is from RAND report. So small group instruction is always valid, and this summer it's no different. This is from a RAND report, as I said. It's called Every Summer Counts. The source is included in the presentation. This is a longitudinal analysis of outcomes from a national summer learning project over many years, and summer school isn't new. This gives us great hope for students. Providing engaging instruction will positively impact enrollment this summer and beyond, addressing that skills gap. And all of y'all can see that small group instruction happening, and how students perform and really learn more in that small group environment. And here are some statistics on why enrollment and engagement matter. The first statistic, though data was limited, a February Wall Street Journal article shared that attendance fell in 75% of school districts this year. Why was the data limited? It was hard to gauge attendance this year, just simply hard. The second data, to gauge the impact on this disruptive year. An Ohio study looked at data from their fall 2019 and their fall 2020 third grade language arts, English language arts assessment, so they could better understand the impact of COVID on families. So they worked at the third grade level, and when they saw the difference between the students in 2019 who did not hit their benchmarks at third grade was 27%, versus the students who did not hit their benchmarks in 2020 jumped to 40%. That's a huge increase. And finally, a statistic from Echelon Insights, a national parent survey in March of 2021, shows parents are asking for summer school for their students. All the links are included on the data on this slide, so if you have any questions, you can actually look it up. Yet we still have challenges in front of us. Some questions. You're asking as teachers, you're asking as administrators. These are all things you're grappling with. So let's look at how we can remove these obstacles and we can engage students. We want to take away the student that says this is boring. We want to take away the students, saying it's too hard. All these pieces, we want to make sure that we remove all the barriers. So let's look at how we can engage students. So it has to be fun. How can we lift these learners up? Students collaborate and interact. They play. They provide students with solutions they want, and they will come and make it easy for teacher students. No prior knowledge is required. I don't have to know coding and robotics to be able to do this. So these are some of the barriers that Floyd County has taken and just said, you know what, we're going to just take them away. We're going to really put fun things in our kids' hands, and we're going to have an engaging summer to support them and get them excited about school. So let's hear from Mike and Bobby how they will be doing all of these things to support the students and families in Floyd County this summer.
First of all, thanks again, Kathy, for having us. I'm in a position that we are the ones that I guess are bringing something to our students that hopefully will excite them and engage them in this summer opportunity. Just to tell you a little bit about us, we are from southeastern Kentucky. We are in the mountains. Me and Bobby are just some good old mountain boys, and we love where we live. It's very family oriented, and our community is small, but it's spread out. It's sort of in one location. We've got schools all over our county, and you can see some of our demographics here. We have 5,600 school students in our district, and those students are spread over 12 schools. So even though we're a small county, when you start driving, we end up it takes a while to get around our county for sure. But we are very, very thankful for the situation that we are in. If you look there, you can see our learning options that we've had. We are, at this time, we're finishing up our school year. We have in-person as well as virtual learners. And actually, I know that says 512. It's actually K-12. So that was when I don't know if I key typed that wrong, but that was probably my fault there. But one thing that makes our district unique is we are a one-to-one district, which we are one device for every student. Every child in our district, K-12, actually pre-K-12, has a device they can take home with them. So when we were fully virtual, every child was still able to participate. So that sort of just shows you a little bit about us, where we're located. We are broken down. We have 3 high schools. We have 1 middle school. We have 5 K-8s and 2 K-5s. So that gives you a little bit more, I guess, understanding of sort of what Floyd County looks like.
Love it.
Let's go to the next slide.
Yep. Okay.
So, Bob, you jump in here anytime. Once you talk a little bit, Bob, about what our sort of goal was to get kids to summer school.
So, we all know that, especially during this pandemic year, kids have been online a lot. And one of the things we wanted to do was to get those kids hands-on. And to do that, we've taught and we had conversations with our instructional teams and all of our people and our teachers, and we thought that robotics would be the best way to get these kids into summer school this summer. So one of the things we wanted to look into was getting a robot into every kid who went to summer school's hands. Mike?
So we're tag teaming here, so I'll jump back in. We started researching, and we actually have been involved in a National Science Foundation grant for the last 3 years. And with working with a school out of Pittsburgh, the South Fayette Township School District, they have been working with our teachers and instructing them in STEM and STEAM related tools and topics. So this upcoming summer, we have a new lesson structure that the school in Pittsburgh wanted to implement, and that's how we got to know about CoderZ and the curriculum. And one thing that's been pretty neat is really, as we started diving into this, we could see this benefit really happening for our summer school. And we're working towards a full implementation in the fall. But right now, we have the opportunity to take CoderZ and take the robots we have purchased, and I think really give our kids something more than just in front of a computer, but give them something hands-on. And we know that this coder, Bobby and I, we've been through some trainings. We've also been able to participate in the different missions that are in there. And what's so cool about it is the transfer that can happen from what you learn in CoderZ to a real life device, which is really cool. So our summer, if you look here on the page, our summer session, we're looking at summer 1 from May 24th to the 17th. We're hoping if we have the warm bodies for our students that we can offer a second session. They're 4 weeks in length, 4 days a week, and it's from 9 to 1. And you're like, well, how in the world are you going to get robotics in there? Robotics is what's bringing the kids to our summer school.
I have a son who's in first grade, and he's been virtual all year long. And when I told him that the kids in summer school were going to get a robot, well, he's ready to go. He wants to be there right now.
Because what robot? Even though we're using robots to bring these kids in, our target is credit recovery and retention for our students. This past year has been so difficult, and we want to provide them something more than maybe they've struggled. Maybe they couldn't connect everything, because we have Wi-Fi issues here. We've done everything we possibly can, from Wi-Fi boxes to actually working with our local internet provider to put internet in the home. We got a grant from our state, and that has really made a huge difference. But we want to make sure that our kids are on par and on track where they need to be for the fall. So that's why we wanted to be able to offer something for them that not only brings them to summer school, but actually it's something they can take with them from summer school, which is really neat as well. The robots that we have coming, they're going to get time each day to spend time with them, to build them, to code them. But what's really neat is as they complete summer school, they get to take them home with them as well. So yes, we're using robots to get them there so they can actually do improve their math skills and improve their reading skills and the other things they may be missing on. A lot of our kids have struggled with not seeing others because of the pandemic. Some of our kids are just coming for the 4 days a week, and then they're out. So this is an opportunity for them to be with a lot of their friends, to catch up on a lot of things they're missing,
Right.
and to learn something brand new that they can take back home with them.
And the CoderZ program makes it so easy and so attainable for our kids to be able to do this. It was a no-brainer for us to go with that.
Exactly. Do we have any questions, Kathy, right now?
So I haven't
about
seen
maybe
anything. I'm thinking that your biggest problem is summer 2, because you're going to have so many kids just from word of mouth. They're going to be like, what? You got a robot? And it really is important, that engagement piece. And sometimes whatever it takes, right? And the CoderZ curriculum, they're going to be able to have all of that knowledge and ready to play with all the robots that they're going to get. I think that is just amazing. Budgets are always an issue. And so, I mean, this year, I don't know what folks are thinking about with budgets, and I know that y'all have been very creative in your funding sources, but with the monies that are coming to states and districts, um, I think that that's fabulous. And I don't know that that's how, your funding source or not, and it doesn't matter, but it's like you have to think about different ways to use different pots of money, and to have the outcome of math and language arts directly related back to coding and robotics. I know it's something that people don't always put together, and that's just outstanding. The whole computational thinking piece, I just think it's awesome.
Well, and we do too. And honestly, this we've got to give credit to our special guest today, our CIO, Miss Denise Isaac, because it was really her and our superintendent that that really saw this as something that's going to really benefit our kids. So I don't. Hopefully Denise is still on here. I'd love for her to just sort of share a little bit about that desire, because I think that component is going to allow bring these kids here.
Right. Denise, did you want to add anything?
I don't mind to. So when I became the CIO, one of my huge initiatives was STEM. And it was just an interest at all levels, kids, our special needs students, our high achieving students, you name it, all the kids could relate to STEM or STEAM. And we, began our huge initiative in the district with a STEM bus, and it provided equity to all schools, regardless of free and reduced lunch numbers. And they were able, we were able to take those STEM activities to all the schools. Then we went to a STEM school. We are still in the process of growing that. And we just found the interest, and we just thought if we continue that through summer school, I just think that's really going to attract kids. My superintendent says, let's get them to summer school by STEM, and then we'll trick them into learning reading and math. And I thought that was really neat. So there's just been a huge interest there, and we're tickled to death, and these guys are rocking it out for me.
I love it. And because of that, we're going to find the kids who didn't know they loved coding and robotics.
Yeah.
Which is even better, right?
Yes.
I love that. I think that's awesome. Next slide, Bobby and Mike.
Sure. So we're going to, as we start this in the summer, this is it will continue into the fall, which we are so excited about. The biggest thing is we want to expose and develop our computational thinking skills with CoderZ and these kids. As Bobby and I have been training and preparing, one thing that we have noticed is the ability to transfer what we're learning in CoderZ and the CoderZ curriculum to another device. And it allows that kid to go deeper in their studies and learning on the fly, which I think is very important to our kids, because it reaches so many other subject areas as well. We're going to be using all of the 4 basic CoderZ curriculum. We were holding off on Python Gym right now, just because we want to really lay this foundation for our kids, and we want them to grow as they go throughout the semester.
Let me jump in and say that the materials and the programs are awesome. They're easy to use, but they're challenging. And I mean, even to Mike and I, we've had some fun with this stuff.
Yeah, way too much fun sometimes. But
That's always good to hear.
yeah, oh, listen, we have had a great time. You know, a couple years ago, we had a team of teachers that went to a CS for All conference, a computer science for all. And when they come back, one of the areas in there was um, implementing uh, this computer science CT curriculum um, in our schools.
Mhm.
We're taking a K-8 focus, and with CoderZ, we're able to do that, and we're so excited about that as well. So that was one of our goals, was to be able to find something that we can implement, and that's
Yep.
what this is going to happen in the fall for us, which we're excited. But when I got hired in May, one of the first things that Denise and I sat down and talked about was a robotics program,
Right.
and being able to see it from K-12. There's so many um, competitions and different things that happen within our state, but also nationwide, that we want our kids to be part of. And that's something, you know, she has seen that vision. She has seen that in other areas and saw how these kids are just engaged in it. And that's something we wanted for our kids as well. So as we have been planning and preparing, it's not just for summer school. Is it to get our kids there? Yes. Is it to get them learning all the subjects that they've been missing? Yes. But it's also for life skills as well for them as they grow and as they go into next semester. We want them to take that with them as well.
So I have a question for both Mike and Bobby. Computational thinking keeps coming up for you guys, and you just mentioned life skills. So computational thinking and problem solving go together. So do you see this as a solution to support sort of the soft skills or 21st century skills that we often talk about in STEM and STEAM? Are you guys thinking that this will help your students in those areas?
For sure. This is something Bobby and I have actually been working on uh, other opportunities for our kids as well to be able to come to where we are and then us go to them. I've been fortunate over the last couple of years to work with students into where they're having to think outside of the box and thinking using the technology that's in front of them to solve real world problems and to reach skills that you know I think sometimes they don't think they can.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think this computational thinking is something that we do, but I think we have a chance to just make it blossom.
Yeah.
For our kids.
Yep. Totally agree. Bobby, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
I think Mike hit it pretty much on the head.
I think this is outstanding. So you guys are moving into the fall with a plan to keep and using summer as let's get them there, go have fun, get their hands on their own robots. I get to take my robot home. Ugh, love that. And now we're going to move into the school year with a thought process around how to impact all kids in grades 3 through 8. I think that's just wonderful. And really using that summer school bridge to really address those credit recovery and retention, get kids back on track a little bit, and have fun. I think that's awesome. So let me make sure everybody can see there's Mike and Bobby and their adorable memes. Contact information if you have questions for them, please feel free to reach out to them as well. I'm sure they would be glad to answer any emails and questions that you have also. So now I'm going to just share a little bit about CoderZ. And the CoderZ's mission is to reach as many students as possible. And we do that with engaging 3D games and missions with very high level graphics for students of all ages. And I think Bobby and Mike, maybe some of our older students, you can see that's very engaging and you get hooked on it. They just shared that. No prior knowledge is required for teachers or students. I think Bobby mentioned that. It's easy. They don't have to worry about it. You have all the materials provided. It is interdisciplinary with STEM and STEAM, and we address everything from basic math skills to trigonometry and basic science concepts up through physics. All of this in a flexible instructional model, either in school, hybrid, virtual, small group, whole group. You get the idea. So we can work with you. Our professional development team, they've already started working with Floyd County, but they will also help with that implementation model as well. So what is CoderZ? We are two things. We are coding and robotics curriculum for all students, all learners, all levels, all virtual, as well as a global virtual robotics competition. CoderZ curriculum is scaffolded and progresses from novice level to advanced level using Blockly with Java, moving into text-based Python. So you can see how that advanced level course goes into text-based Python. CoderZ League is our global virtual competition. It starts in October, though you can sign up now. We actually have our finals the second week of January. They are live streamed on Twitch. CoderZ League brings virtual robotics competitions to more students because of the significantly less cost than an in-person competition, as well as eliminating that sort of the kids who like to do the design build process versus the motion process and bringing them all together. So every student has their own robot in both our curriculum and our competition. And the magical words to the district budget makers is that you never have to buy a replacement part for CoderZ robots. So we can make it easy to get started. And I'm going to tell you our Amazon Future Engineer story. Amazon Future Engineer came to CoderZ last year because they loved the way we taught coding and robotics. They asked CoderZ to build a novice level course that teaches coding and robotics in an Amazon fulfillment center with Hercules, one of the fulfillment center robots. It's 3 hours. It's a lot of fun. It's always free, and the link will take you to where you can sign up for it. So then what happened was teachers came back and they said, oh, and actually the Amazon Cyber Robotics Challenge is the one of the prerequisites for the Amazon Future Engineer virtual field trip. So that is super cool. The Amazon Cyber Robotics Challenge is actually in the teacher's toolkit. It is a 1 hour live virtual field trip in an Amazon fulfillment center. So students learn how a fulfillment center works. They learn coding and robotics at a novice level in the Amazon Cyber Robotics Challenge. Then as a group, you can actually do a live tour of an Amazon fulfillment center. And actually it's like 4 different fulfillment centers you're in because they do them in different locations. It's all free. It's a great place to get started. Part 2 of our Amazon Future Engineer story is that once teachers completed the Amazon Cyber Robotics Challenge, they said we didn't have enough curriculum, they wanted more. So Amazon Future Engineer came back to CoderZ and asked that we provide the CoderZ curriculum for teachers of underrepresented populations, underwriting the initial 6 months at no cost to the school. So we're working with Title I teachers in Title I schools, no cost to them for the initial 6 months to any of our curriculum options. You can see CoderZ curriculum is scaffolded from novice to beginning to intermediate to advanced and supports problem solving and computational thinking at all levels. Those are the things we were just talking about with Floyd County. And I actually have a very timely announcement. This just came out this morning that CoderZ is a finalist in the SIIA, it's the Software and Information Industry Association CODI Awards for Core Academic Best Coding and Computational Thinking Solution. This is perfectly supporting what they're doing in Floyd County and many other areas. If we haven't addressed your questions, then please feel free to reach out. Again, here is all of our contact information. We are here to help. Please know that. I'm going to put my camera back on. Have a fun and engaging summer with all your teachers and students. Are there any questions? If not, and if you have a question, please don't forget you can pop it into that question section. We'll be happy to respond real time, or we can follow up with you if you don't have any additional questions. I am so glad you have attended this. We will send the links to the Amazon options for you, so please don't worry. That way you'll have access, and you can always go to our website, gocoderz.com, and you'll see everything there as well. And so don't worry, we can make sure we get all of this to you. Again, thank you so much, and we will see you next time.